ओके बच्चों, गुड इवनिंग, गुड आफ्टरनून. सो आज अपन पढ़ने वाले हैं इकोसिस्टम. ओके, इकोसिस्टम, द चैप्टर हु डील्स विद योर neighborings, all the neighbors, all the surrounding which is present inside your neighbors. Okay, means in this room, if I am standing, so this room is an ecosystem in which I am present. Okay, and that insects and the microorganism which is present inside this room, and simultaneously your air, temperature, sunlight, soil, water, all these things are present in this room, and this thing making this as an ecosystem. Okay, so in this chapter we are going to study about ecosystem. Okay, so first we have the definition of ecosystem. Okay, in which you will see an ecosystem is a functional unit of nature where living organisms interact each other and also with the physical environment. Okay, physical environment बोले तो वो चीज जो जिंदा नहीं है. Okay, physical environment is that environment which is not living. Okay, it can be water, it can be sunlight, it can be temperature, it can be soil, it can be sunlight. Okay, so Sir A.G. Tansley coined the term ecosystem. E.P. Odum is the father of ecosystem. Okay, again your A.G. Tansley coined the term ecosystem, and the father of ecosystem is E.P. Odum. Okay, now I am going to divide ecosystem into two parts. Okay, first one is your terrestrial ecosystem and second one is your aquatic ecosystem. Okay, terrestrial ecosystem, forest ecosystem, grass ecosystem, desert ecosystem. Okay, फॉरेस्ट इकोसिस्टम योर जंगल. ओके, जंगल जंगल पता चला है, चड्डी पहन के फूल खिला है. ओके, then for grassland ecosystem your Mufasa. Okay, Mufasa, Simba. Okay, then you have desert ecosystem, that is your Thar desert and other deserts. Okay, then we have aquatic ecosystem, freshwater ecosystem and saltwater ecosystem. Freshwater means मीठा पानी. Okay, pure water which does not contain any salt. Okay, so we have pond ecosystem, lake ecosystem and streams ecosystems. Okay, pond, as you see pond everywhere in the cities, your cities having ponds, a small area of water, stagnant water where you find different animals, and that simultaneously water is there, soil is there, so it is also an ecosystem. Okay, next one is your salt water ecosystem. Wetland, estuaries, marines, all these are your wet salty water areas. Okay, where the water have high salinity. Okay, water comprises of more namak. Okay, so on the basis of site type of ecosystem, mega ecosystem, macro ecosystem, micro ecosystem and nano ecosystem. Okay, mega ecosystem your ocean and sea. Okay, बहुत बड़ा समुंदर, वो समुंदर एक मेगा इकोसिस्टम. Okay, mega ecosystem is the ecosystem which is large in the area. Okay, then we have my macro. Okay, that is then smaller than mega, then it is called macro ecosystem. Example, forest, jungle. Okay, then micro ecosystem, that is pond. Okay, it is smaller than your macro. Okay, then we have nano ecosystem. Okay, nano ecosystem is your water drop. Okay, this my mouth. Okay, this is also an nano ecosystem. Okay, in which water is there, temperature is there, microorganism is there, so this is also an ecosystem. Okay, next we have now components of ecosystem. Just like a machine, just think ecosystem is a machine. Okay, a machine having different parts. Okay, just like, see, this is a stamp machine. Okay, this stamp machine have different parts. Okay, it have spring system, it have the seal system. Okay, it have nameplate. Okay, all these things are present. Just like that, your ecosystem also has subcomponent, biotic component and abiotic component. Okay, biotic, producer, consumer or decomposer. Producer, those who produce the food. Okay, like plants. Okay, algae, then phytoplanktons, all these are your producers. Next we have consumers. Okay, consumers means which eat producer. Okay, or other consumers. Okay, these are called consumer, like herbivores, which are your primary consumer. Then you have primary carnivore, which is your secondary consumer. Then you have secondary carnivore, who is tertiary consumer. Okay, then abiotic forces. Okay, abiotic forces means these are non-living things, but because of presence of these, this all ecosystem is running. If some abnormalities, some less amounting of these things happens inside the ecosystem, then the ecosystem become unfavorable and unstable. So these are your air, hawa, water, pani, solar radiation, sunlight, धूप, then temperature, तापमान, and soil, मिट्टी. Okay, ये पांचों मिलते हैं तो बनता है abiotic component, and these abiotic component simultaneously group together and runs a ecosystem. Okay, just like our body is made up of 5 elements. Just like that, ecosystem is also made up of these 5 abiotic elements. Okay, so in starting I said to run a machine you need different components, and that component should be fitted successfully and properly, then that machine work properly. So these are the components of that machine, and the machine is ecosystem, and these are the different parts. When all these parts work together in proper manner, then ecosystem work properly. Okay, next we are going to talk about ecosystem structure and function. What are the structures and functions of ecosystem? Okay, so first is the structure. In the structure we are going to see, and we have to going to study the structure, the design of ecosystem. What are the designings of ecosystem? What things make the structure of ecosystem? Components of structure of ecosystem, that is your species composition. Okay, different species in a particular or environment making a different ecosystem probably stable. Okay, just like you will see protozoans, plankton, zooplankton, bacteria, insects, termite, sunlight, heat, fungi, animals, plants, all these together coming, different species organism coming together and forming an ecosystem. And remember one thing, more species rich area, a better ecosystem. Less species rich area, a fragile ecosystem. Okay, so second one is stratification. Okay, just like in your cities, for example Mumbai. Okay, in Mumbai you will see that there is different levels. Okay, one is top level where rich people lives, one is middle level where that middle class live, and one is lower level where your poor people lives. Just like that, your jungle have this type of arrangement also, that we call stratification. Okay, stratification, it is nothing, it is a vertical arrangement of different plants and type of plants in a way. Okay, so in this, first we have trees above 40 feet, long trees which directly capturing the sunlight. Okay, then we have trees of 20 to 40 feet, that is your canopies. Okay, or smaller trees. Then you have shrubs occupy the second and the third layer, that is your scrubs. Okay, and at last you have herbs and grass which is occupying the land, the level, the low area, okay, of the forest. So that is your stratification in forest. Next we have stratification in deep ponds. Okay, ponds also have stratification on the basis of penetration of sunlight inside the pond. Okay, so we have 3 zones: littoral zone, sublittoral zone, and profundal zone. Littoral zone is that zone which is that is 6 meter from the surface of the pond or lake till the depth. Okay, means from the point of starting to the area where the sunlight can go, that is should be 6 meter, then that zone is littoral zone. Okay, then you have sublittoral zone. Okay, its range is 10 meter from the surface of that pond till the 10-meter depth is your sublittoral zone. And profundal zone, it is the layer. Okay, it is the base. Okay, base of the lake is your profundal zone. Okay, so littoral zone is represented by shallow water having rotten strata which help in thriving rotted plants. Okay, sublittoral limiting zone occupy the depth of which light penetrates in water, has planktons, nectons, and neutrons. These all are different types of that dinoflagellates and diatoms. Okay, profundal zone represented by the area where sunlight cannot penetrate. It is the deepest most part of an water body where sunlight cannot go. At that area, source of energy is geothermal vents or earth energy. Okay. Next we have functions of ecosystem. Okay. Till now we studied about structure. Okay. We studied about that stratification. Okay. Structure, that is okay. Now we have functions of ecosystem. Okay, what are the functions of ecosystems? Okay, so we have productivity, decomposition, energy flow, and nutrients cycle. Okay, these all four are the functions of ecosystem. Okay, just like an ecosystem have means a machine have a function. So the function of this ecosystem is productivity, decomposition, energy flow, and nutrient cycles. Okay, so first we have productivity. Okay, productivity means to produce something. Okay, you have to produce, you have to give something, then it is called productivity. Okay, different productivities is there. You are productivity towards the art, you are productivity towards the maths, your productivity towards the biology. Okay, so productivity is the thing in which a particular ecosystem producing the biomass, that is your productivity. Okay, so the rate of biomass produced is called productivity, and it is expressed in gram year or kilocalorie per year. Okay, then amount of biomass produced per unit time over a time is called productivity. Okay, in a particular area, in a year, what type of production is going on, what is the productivity going on, that is your productivity or primary production. Okay, it is expressed in weight or energy kilocalorie per meter square. So your productivity, primary productivity is divided into two parts: gross primary productivity and net primary productivity. Okay, gross primary productivity means the total production of biomass by plant by the process of photosynthesis. It is your gross primary productivity. Again I am saying gross primary productivity means synthesis of biomass by plant in by the process of photosynthesis in an year. That is your gross primary productivity. Okay, then next is your net primary productivity. It is simple, very simple, minus just respiratory loss from your gross primary productivity. Okay, minus respiratory loss from gross primary productivity, you get net primary productivity. Okay, so it is the available biomass for the consumption of heterotroph herbivorous decomposer. NPP is the gross primary productivity minus respiration loss, the respiration loss, the catabolic process in which breakdown take place, the energy required, minus that thing from your gross primary productivity, and you got NPP, net primary productivity. Okay, so primary productivity varies in different area. So what is the reason of variation? So we have four reasons: the plant species inhabiting the area, what type of species is present in that area, it also defines the productivity of that area. Okay, second one is environmental factor. What is the environment is there? Either it is hot, either it is cold, either it is warm, either it is humid, either it is deserty. What type of environment there, it factors the area. Okay, then we have availability of nutrients. Okay, availability of nutrients बोले तो कि जो soil है, the soil contain what type of nutrients? Okay, phosphorus, nitrogen, sodium. What is the salinity of the soil? What is the composition of the soil? All these things come under the availability of nutrients. Okay, and at last photosynthetic capacity of the plant means either that plant is C4, C3 or CAM. That type of plant, that is photosynthetic capacity of the plant. Okay, so next, this is your primary productivity. Next we have secondary productivity. Okay, secondary productivity is the productivity which is produced by an organism who eat the plant. Okay, so secondary productivity is the rate of formation of new organic matter by consumer. Okay, the consumer who eat plants means producer is your plant, consumer means the animals. So the animals eating that plant, so the energy which is producing by that animal, okay, that is your secondary productivity. The biomass is producing by that animal eating by that plant is your secondary productivity. Okay, so the rate of storage of organic matter not used by heterotrophs is also called as secondary productivity. Okay, so that we have net consumer productivity, which is NPP minus HR. Okay, so during succession, net community productivity or annual yield decreases, because when you go ahead, that productivity always decrease. Energy decrease, 10% low apply. Okay, annual net primary, that is very interesting fact. Annual net primary productivity of whole biosphere is about 170 billion ton. 170 बिलियन टन होता है पूरे अर्थ का प्रोडक्टिविटी. उस 170 बिलियन टन में से 55 जो बिलियन टन होता है वो ओशन से आता है, वाटर से आता है, जबकि वाटर 70% है अर्थ पे. अगेन सी अर्थ productivity is equal to 170 billion ton. Okay, out of that 170 billion ton, 55 billion ton is produced by aquatic ecosystem. Okay, and remaining 115 billion ton is by terrestrial ecosystem. Okay, Earth productivity is 170 billion ton. Out of that 170 billion ton, 55 billion ton is produced by aquatic ecosystem and 115 billion ton is produced by your terrestrial ecosystem. But on Earth, you know, water occupies 70% area of Earth and remaining 30% is occupied by land. But still your land have more productivity than your aquatic ecosystem. Okay, the reason is because of the species of plant is more on land than water. The capacity to do photosynthesis is more on land than water plants. Okay, the plants which is present on land have more power to do photosynthesis than the plants which is present inside the water or on the water surface. Okay, that's why your land have 115 billion ton productivity, while your oceans, seas, rivers, lakes, ponds have only 55 billion ton productivity. Okay. So next, secondary productivity, as you see here, that deer is eating the grass and that grass is being go inside the body of deer and it will store inside the tissue as a form of energy source. Okay, one diagram is also there. See this diagram. This will show you more probably that thing. Okay, this side is for primary productivity, this side is for secondary productivity. Okay, so primary productivity, gross primary productivity 300 joule. For example, plants is doing photosynthesis and producing 300 joule energy. Okay, now this 300 joule energy will separate down in two ways. 200 joule energy will go in net primary productivity, and out of that 300, 100 is minus, that is your cell respiration. Okay, or more simple way we can see, 300 you have, 300 rupees you have, 100 rupees you given to someone. Okay, you have only 200, that 200 keep inside your pocket. Same thing is here, 300 joule energy is there. Out of that 300, 100 joule energy is lost in respiration, in heat, and the remaining 200 energy is stored inside the plant body to produce fruits. Okay, now we talk about secondary productivity. Now this insect eat this fruit. Okay, so this insect get 200 joule energy which is present inside the fruit. Okay, now this 200 joule energy will break down into three phases in the form of net secondary productivity. That is, 100 joule will go in fecal material, 32 joule will go in tissue, and 67 joule energy go in cellular respiration. Okay, so this is the defection of all the energy supplying taking place inside the food chains and food webs. Okay. Next we have decomposition. Okay, decomposition means breakdown of complex material into simple form. Simple definition: decomposition, breakdown of complex substances into simple substances, that is decomposition. Okay, So decomposition is a breakdown of complex organic matter by decomposing into inorganic substances like CO2, water and nutrients. Okay, simple form. Okay, so it is a largely an oxygen requiring process. Okay, largely oxygen requiring means it is your aerobic process. Okay, when oxygen come in the play, reaction become aerobic. When you remove the oxygen, it will become anaerobic. Okay, so raw material for decomposition is called detritus. Example: dead plant remains, leaf, bark, flower, dead remains of animal, fecal material. See, when you prepare a food, okay, just like you are preparing biryani, okay, so directly you can prepare the biryani. First you have to take some raw material, just like chicken, some masalas, okay, rice, okay, different material, different raw material you want. So that chicken, masala, rice, all these are raw materials. Okay, same thing in the process of decomposition. The raw material is your that remains of plant, dead body of animals and fecal material. All these things comes together and they decompose and forms the different components of that decomposition process. So, and all these things do not take place simultaneously. It will convert by the help of 5 different processes. Okay, so that 5 processes is fermentation, leaching, catabolism, humification and mineralization. Again I am saying fragmentation, leaching, catabolism, humification, mineralization. So first we have fragmentation. Fragmentation means breakdown of large particles into small particles. That is your fragmentation. Okay, fragmentation done by organisms which we call detrivores. Okay, earthworm. Okay, earthworm, that is the organism which causes the fragmentation process in environment. Okay, second we have leaching. Okay, leaching means the large particle which is converted into small particle by the help of that earthworm is now leach its inorganic salt inside the soil. Okay, and make available the salt, the nutrients inside the soil. Okay, next is catabolism. Okay, third step of decomposition. Catabolism, now your microbes, fungus come in the play. Okay, these microbes and fungus releases acids and enzymes on that material and make that thing more smaller, more simpler. Okay, so that is your catabolism. Fungal and bacterial enzyme convert complex organic compounds into simple compounds. Okay, next we have your humification. Okay, means formation of dark amorphous substance called humus. Okay, so formation of dark colored amorphous substance humus, that process is called humification, and this step is the most slowest step of decomposition process. Okay, then last is mineralization. Okay, now that your humus get decomposed, get degraded, and it will dilute its inorganic matters inside the soil, and soil absorb that, and the nutrient power of soil increases. Okay, so this is the diagrammatic diagram, that is diagram of your NCERT, in which you will see a tree having a tree is growing. Okay, that leaf falls from the tree. Okay, somehow it is eaten by some herbivores. If not eaten by herbivores, then it will go in the cycle of decomposition. First it is eaten by that your detrivores. After that it will go leach inside the soil. Okay, then your microorganism and fungal cells come in the flame and start to digest that thing. After that humus formation take place, and at last mineralization. जो जहां से आया था वो वहां से आया, वहां वापस चला जाएगा. ओके, एक तुमने कहावत सुनी होगी, मिट्टी से बने हैं मिट्टी में ही चले जाएंगे. ओके, this thing plant taking the nutrition from the soil, and when this thing detach from the body of the plant, it again goes inside the soil. Okay, means you are coming from the soil and you are going to mix in the soil. Okay, so this is the summary of this decomposition part. You have detritus go inside the fragmentation, leaching, then catabolism, then humification, and last mineralization. Okay, so now we have the factors which are going to influence the process of decomposition. Okay, so first we have climatic condition, temperature and moisture. Okay, so winter. Okay, in winter you will put a food outside, it will not degrade that much faster. Okay, in winter, remember one thing more, in winter if you put gajar ka halwa outside, okay, it does not rotten that much fast. But same thing if you do in summer, it will rotten within an hours. Okay, same thing is for decomposition also. Okay, if the environment is cold, dry, okay, does not contain that much humidity, okay, then the body of the organism does not decompose fast. The process of decomposition becomes slower. That is become inside the cold and dry conditions. Okay, just like in your ice caps, okay, polar regions, okay, Himalayan region, the soldiers is die inside that Himalayan region, their body does not decompose, it will preserve inside the ice. Okay, or you can take an example, if you are making some non-veg dish inside your house, you put that thing inside the fridge. Inside the fridge it will kept for long time. Okay, or you are a vegetarian, put that dish you made in the night, if you want to reuse, you put that thing inside the fridge. Fridge have cold temperature, decomposition process already slow down in that cool temperature. Okay, on the other hand you have faster rate कब होगी, जब environment warm और moist होगा. Okay, when the environment become warm and moist, then the decomposition process go faster. Okay, example, your summer seasons and your the rainy season, at that time humidity is very high in the air. Okay, dry, that warmness is very high in the air, so if you put a bread mold outside in the environment, okay, within 1-2 hours you will see that fungus is growing over that. Okay, the decomposition is already start of that bread. Okay, because of what, that warm and moist condition. Okay, so this is the first factor, that is your climate and temperature. Okay, now we have the second factor, that is your aerobic and anaerobic conditions. Okay, that is the most important factor which influence rate of decomposition. That is your aerobic and anaerobic condition. Aerobic means decomposition is faster, एरोबिक कंडीशन होगी, डिकम्पोजिशन तेज चलेगा. सिंपल लॉजिक. व्हेन एरोबिक कंडीशन इज देयर, decomposition process go peacefully, no one can hinder that process. सिंपल भाई, बिल्कुल सिंपल चीज है कि जब रेट हवा में ऑक्सीजन होगी, जितनी ज्यादा ऑक्सीजन उतना तेज डिकम्पोजिशन. ओके, अब तुम हटा दो एटमॉस्फेयर में से ऑक्सीजन, बना दो एटमॉस्फेयर को एनारोबिक. Just remove the oxygen from the atmosphere and make the atmosphere anaerobic. The process of decomposition retards, because you are not supplying oxygen in the atmosphere, and that oxygen which is responsible for the process of decomposition, it is not there, so automatically the process of decomposition retards. Okay, so oxygen is required for the process of decomposition. Aerobic condition is required for the process of decomposition. Anaerobic condition do not favors decomposition. Okay, next we have chemical composition of detritus. Okay, what is the buildup, what is the makeup of that organism which is died? Okay, if it having sugar or nitrogen or water soluble nutrients, then it will digest fast, it will decompose fast. Okay, bacteria can easily come secrete their lysozymes and degrade the organism easily. Okay, but if your organism is made up of chitin and lignin, the process is slowed down. Because why is the reason? It is a very complex molecule, chitin and lignin. Okay, it is not easily degradable, it is very complex, while these are water soluble. Okay, a simple water come and dissolve all the thing and it will destroy it, but this is waterproof. Okay, water does not come and degrade it. Okay, so a organism which have chitin and lignin, okay, that organism, detritus, dead body, take time for decomposition, while a organism body made up of water soluble materials like carbohydrate and nitrogen, their body will degrade faster, on fast rate. Okay, next we have energy flow. Okay, energy flow. The first point, the main point of this thing is you have to remember is that sun is the only source of energy. Okay, this is very you can say it is a universal truth. Sun is the ultimate source of energy on earth. Again I am saying universal truth, सत्य वचन कि सूरज से बड़ा कोई सोर्स नहीं है एनर्जी का इस धरती पर. जहां जहां सूरज की रोशनी पहुंचती है वहां वहां एनर्जी आती है. Sun is the ultimate source of energy on earth. But in deep waters where sun cannot go, okay, in deep waters where sun cannot go, that area is get energy from geothermal vents. Okay, the energy of earth itself give the energy to that areas. Okay, the animals which live in that area, the microorganisms which live in that area, they are not getting energy from sun, they are getting energy from the geothermal heat. Okay, so अब जो इस सूरज से एनर्जी आ रही है, okay, the energy which is coming from the sun, it is 100%, but your plants take 50% only. Okay, that 50% is your part, photosynthetic active radiation, and out of that 50%, 2 to 10% is your photosynthetic, okay, on which plant do photosynthesis. Okay, when plant and photosynthetic chemosynthetic bacteria fix solar radiation energy to make food, plant capture only 2 to 10% of the part. 100% sunlight is coming on earth, ठीक है. Out of that 100%, 50% is part, and out of that 50%, 2 to 10% is used by plants for photosynthesis. Again सुन लो, 100% light is coming from the sun. Okay, out of that 100%, 50% is part, and out of that 50%, 2 to 10% is used by plants for photosynthesis. Okay, so this is your photosynthetic active radiation portion of light spectrum that can be utilized by plant. Okay, the spectrum of this light is 400 nanometer to 700 nanometer. Okay, par is within the light wavelength of 400 to 700 nanometer. Okay, next we have sun source of energy. As you know, out of that 50%, 2 to 10% of par is utilized by plant to do photosynthesis. Okay, now next is your components of energy flow. What are the modes, what are the characters, what are the features, what are the play rollers of your energy flow? So we have two, producer and consumer. Okay, producer is your autotrophs, they are organized that synthesize food. Okay, it can be terrestrial ecosystem, it can be present in aquatic ecosystem. Terrestrial ecosystem, we have plants, large plants, small plants, shrubs. Okay, these are comes under terrestrial ecosystem. Aquatic ecosystem, your algae, phytoplanktons, dinoflagellates, diatoms, euglena, all these are your producer in aquatic ecosystems. Okay, then we have consumers, heterotrophs. Okay, so this is three. Primary consumer, which is your herbivores. Okay, example, insect, birds, mammal, mollusk, cow, goat, these all are primary consumers. Primary consumers are those organisms which eat only plants, that's why we are calling them herbivores. Okay, then we have secondary consumer, which is your primary carnivores, feed on the herbivore, example, frog, fox, man. We are secondary consumer. Apun second consumer hai. Okay, you can see here apun second consumer hai. Okay, then tertiary consumer. Okay, top carnivores or secondary carnivores like tiger, lion, leopard. Okay, these all are secondary carnivores. Tertiary consumer are called secondary carnivores, secondary consumer are called primary carnivore, and primary consumer are called herbivores. Okay, so these are the different types of components of your energy flow, by between which that energy flow take place. Okay, now we have food chain. Okay, what is food chain? It is a series of group in which different organisms are available in different trophic level, from one organism to another organism the energy is flowing. Okay, that is your food chain. Okay, it is a series of group of organisms dependent on each other for food. This relationship constituent of chains, hence it is called food chain. And remember one thing, food chain does not occur really in an ecosystem. In ecosystem, always food web occur. Okay, a single food chain never occur in an ecosystem. A food web occur in an ecosystem. Food chain कभी अकेली नहीं आ सकती इकोसिस्टम में, हमेशा फूड वेब आती है इकोसिस्टम में. ये चीज हमेशा ध्यान रखना. ओके, सो दो तरह की फूड चेन होती है. देयर इज टू टाइप्स ऑफ फूड चेन, दैट इज योर ग्रेजिंग फूड चेन एंड detritus फूड चेन्स. ओके, so this is the trophic level. We are going to discuss now trophic level. So first trophic level is always occupied by plant. First trophic level always occupied by producer. Remember this thing. इस बात का गांठ बांध लो कि हमेशा ट्रॉपिक 1 पर तुमको प्लांट मिलेगा, एल्गी मिलेगा, प्लैंक्टन मिलेगा. ओके, इन डिफरेंट इकोसिस्टम द फॉर्म्स इज डिफरेंट बट द नेम इज प्रोड्यूसर. ओके, सो प्रोड्यूसर ट्रॉपिक सेकंड पे मिलेगा तुमको, दैट इज प्राइमरी का कंज्यूमर मींस हर्बीवोर. देन tertiary trophic level third पे मिलेगा तुमको. The third trophic level is occupied by secondary consumer. Okay, and the trophic level 4 is occupied by tertiary consumer. Okay, so next trophic level that I tell you now. Okay, so food chain trophic level. Okay, अब now this is the most important thing related to food chain. Okay, food chain obeys 10% law. What is 10% law? Okay, 10% of energy is transferred to each trophic level from the lower trophic level. For example, if plant is producing 20,000 kilojoule energy, then 10% of 20,000, that is 2,000, will go in second trophic level. Now from this 2,000, 10% of 2,200 kilojoule will go in third trophic level. Now from this 200 kilojoule, the 10%, 20 kilojoule will go in trophic level 4. Now from this 20 kilojoule, 2%, the 10%, 2 kilojoule will go in 5 trophic level. And from this 2 kilojoule, 10%, 0.2 kilojoule will go into 6 trophic level. That is your 10% law. Okay. So your food chain is also follows two laws of thermodynamics. Now we are going to inside the physics chemistry. Okay, जिससे तुम लोगों को सबसे डर लगता है बायो वालों को. Okay, so सबसे पहले आती है first law of thermodynamics. Mass neither be created nor be destroyed, it is transferred from one form to another form. Okay, that is the first law of thermodynamics. Energy is always conserved. The state that energy can neither be created nor be destroyed, only altered in the form. Energy is always conserved. Okay, so at every phase of organism life cycle, energy is lost to environment. Example, excretion, respiration. Okay, it will go inside the environment. You take that thing from the environment, it will go inside the environment again. You will take that thing inside in the form of respiration, it will go out from your body in the form of excretion. Okay, now this is the first law that goes, and the second law of thermodynamics also come under the ecosystem, that it states that whenever energy is converted from one form to another form, there is tendency of toward disorder, entropy in that system of some of the energy is lost to the environment. When the energy is transferring from one form to another form, there is chance of loss of energy from that transfer in the form of entropy. That is your second law of thermodynamics. Okay, thus energy is lost to environment when it moves from one trophic level to another trophic. In this you will see this is small fish eaten by a large fish. This large fish is eaten by shark. So when they are eating, they are moving their fins. They are eating, their mouth is moving. Okay, they are doing respiration. Okay, so the energy loss taking place. Okay, and this energy loss will go inside the environment. Okay, so when energy is moving from one trophic level to different trophic level, there is always loss of energy. That is come under your 10% law. Okay, now next that is trophic levels. Okay, the trophic levels comprises of two biomass. One is your fresh weight and other one is dry waste. Okay, and the organism which is present in particular food chain, okay, that organism is called standing crop. Just like in this food chain you can see, okay, the shark, tiger, falcon, these all are standing crop of trophic level 4. That python, fish, fox, these are the standing crop of third trophic level. Okay, deer, oyster, rat, that is the standing crop of second trophic level. Plants, that is the standing crop of first trophic level. So the organism weight biomass which is present in a particular trophic level, then it is called its trophic level standing crop. Okay. So standing crop can be of two types, fresh weight and dry weight. Fresh weight means living weight. The organism cells contain cytoplasm, then that is called fresh weight. And dry weight means you dried up, you fired up that fresh weight and convert into dry weight. Okay. So next is that in starting we discuss about the different types of food chain, grazing food chain and detritus food chain. So first we have grazing food chain. Okay. So it begins with the producer that captures solar energy and through photosynthesis feed the energy into the food chain. Okay, you will see here producer, it will transfer its energy to primary consumer transferring that to top consumer. Okay, in a food chain there is unidirectional flow of energy from sun to producer and then to various consumers. Okay, means food is transferring from producer to that to primary consumer, then from primary consumer to secondary tertiary. It is your grazing food chain. Grazing food chain can be occur on land and can be occur in water. Okay. Then we have detritus food chain or saprophytic food chain. Okay, this food chain begins with decomposition of dead organic matter. Okay, always remember detritus food chain never start with plant. Detritus food chain always start with dead body. Okay, so the food chain begins with the decomposition of dead organic matter by decomposition, so it is known as saprophytic food chain. Okay, in this food chain primary consumer are bacteria and fungi. Okay, bacteria and fungi are the primary consumer. Dead body, detritus, that is your starting point. That is eaten by bacteria and fungi, that is your primary consumer. Okay, not in detritus food chain energy flow is either very slow, yet magnitude of energy is greater. Flow of energy from one point to another point is slow, but the frequency of energy, the power of energy is very high. On the opposite hand, in your grazing food chain, the flow of energy is very fast, but the magnitude of energy which is moving in grazing food chain is very slow, low. Okay. Then in mangrove vegetation, this food chain goes up to the big organisms. For example, dead mangrove leaves, it is eaten by bacteria and fungi. Now bacteria and fungi is eaten by aphids, mollusks, crabs, nematodes. These nematodes are eaten by small fishes and small fish is eaten by tiger. So that long food chain can be occur inside your detritus food chain. But in grazing food chain, maximum trophic level is 4 or 5. If it is exceed 4, then this food chain is unstable in nature. Okay. So this is your different types of grazing food chain. One is your aquatic ecosystem grazing food chain, and this is your terrestrial ecosystem grazing food chain. Okay, so in aquatic ecosystem, GFC is major channel for energy flow. Okay, and in terrestrial ecosystem, detritus food chain is the major channel for energy flow. Okay, you will see here. Okay, in this part the balance is same, but when we go to study that GFC having more power, more prominence inside your aquatic ecosystem, because that dead organism does not degrade easily. Okay, and that plants number is more there, phytoplanktons. Okay, that small algae and all the other algae are more. That's why grazing food chain run more in aquatic ecosystem. While in your terrestrial ecosystem, you will find that detritus food chain is more because land is there. That decomposition process goes normally. Okay, so that's why detritus food chain is the major energy flow of terrestrial ecosystem, while your grazing food chain is the major energy flow in aquatic ecosystem. Okay. So some important points in aquatic ecosystem, GFC is the major conductor of energy flow. Okay, just I see here. Okay. DFC may be conducted with GFC in some levels. Okay, they are combined in some levels. Okay, some organism of DFC of prey to the GFC animals. Okay. Next, you have when many food chains comes together, they form a web. That thing is called food web, and food web naturally occur inside the ecosystem. Again, I am saying that many food chains comes together, they form an intermingled structure which we call food web. Okay, and that food web is naturally occur inside the ecosystem. Food chain never occur really in the ecosystem. You study that thing in ecology, but really food chain is not there. Okay, it is food web always present inside the ecosystem. So this is your desert biome food web, and this is your aquatic food web. Okay, did you know cave ecosystem is entirely detritus? Okay, it is an interesting fact. Okay, extra knowledge that cave ecosystem is entirely detritus in nature. Okay, in caves, dead decaying matter is the source for energy. Fungi and bacteria decompose this dead body. Okay, millipede feed on these decomposers. Cave beetle prey on millipede and salamander further prey on such beetle. देखो food chain बन गया पूरा. Okay, dead body is there. Okay, which is eaten by decomposers. Now the decomposers, which is your fungi and bacteria, it is eaten by millipede. Now this millipede is eaten by cave beetles. Okay, and this cave beetle is eaten by salamander. Okay, it is an amphibians. Okay, so this is an detritus food chain which is prominently running inside a cave ecosystem. Okay, cave matlab gufa. Okay, last part of this chapter is your ecological pyramids. Okay, so we have three ecological pyramids: pyramid of number, pyramid of biomass, and pyramid of energy. So first of all, why we doing pyramid? Why are we drawing pyramid? So we have to give a graphical representation of food chain, because in food chain we are not giving that proper idea. So we draw a graphically a food chain in a graphical form. That is your ecological pyramid. So we have three: pyramid of number, pyramid of biomass, and pyramid of energy. Okay. So ecological pyramids: pyramid of number, pyramid of biomass, pyramid of energy. Pyramid of number means number of organisms. Pyramid of biomass means weight of the organism, and pyramid of energy is the energy transfer from one trophic level to another trophic level. Okay, so pyramid of number, it is the type of pyramid when the number of individual organism in various trophic level is shown. Okay, see, you can see here. There we have these pyramids are mostly upright because number of producers is maximum and number of herbivore and carnivore decrease towards the apex successive trophic level, such as grassland ecosystem and aquatic ecosystem. You will see here more number of producers there. Okay, then you have less number of herbivores, then less number of secondary herbivores, then more less number of tertiary carnivores, and then less number of that top consumers. Okay, so that is the pyramid of number. When you are reading the number, but there is one pyramid, okay, in which this pyramid is get inverted. Now you will see this. Okay, pyramid of number in tree ecosystem. Okay, the exception for this generalization, if the number of insects feeding on big tree are counted, then inverted pyramid is obtained. Okay, means the tree ecosystem is your inverted. Okay, again I am saying aquatic, terrestrial, land ecosystem, these all are upright, but pyramid of number for tree ecosystem, it is always inverted. Okay, you will see here one big tree. Okay, then many insects are there, then that many insects are eaten by small birds, and that small birds is eaten by your large bird. So this is an inverted triangle, okay, of the pyramid of number. Okay, next one, this is your pyramid of that number. Okay, of that pyramid of number of that tree ecosystem. Then we have pyramid of biomass. Okay, pyramid of biomass is always upright in terrestrial ecosystem, because when you combine the weight of all producer, it is more than herbivores. When you combine the all weight of herbivores, it is more than primary carnivores. And when you combine the weight of all primary carnivore, it is more than top carnivore. That's why the biomass pyramid of that terrestrial ecosystem is always upright. But when you come inside the that aquatic pyramid, okay, in aquatic ecosystem, you will find that inverted, because this producer phytoplankton, zooplankton, they are microscopic. You cannot see them by your naked eyes. Okay, you have to apply microscope to see them. Okay, so the weight of this is very less. Then when you go herbivores, the weight again increases. When you go to carnivore, then the weight more increases. Okay, that's why the pyramid of aquatic ecosystem is always inverted, while the pyramid of biomass in terrestrial ecosystem, it always upright. Okay, now the next one is that pyramid of energy. Okay, pyramid of energy, this will show you the flow of energy. Okay, pyramid of energy tells you the flow of energy from one tropic level to another tropic level, and pyramid of energy for every ecosystem on this earth is always upright. Okay, this is the pyramid of energy which is always upright. See, always upright, always upright. Okay, pyramid of energy always upright. Okay. Then limitation of ecological pyramids. We have three limitations. Does not account for same species belonging to more than one tropic level. Okay, means if deer in some that pyramid it is on top, that herbivore, then in some it may be in secondary. Okay, so means there is change of that organism in a tropic level, so that thing is not accountable in pyramids. Okay, second, does not accumulate food web. Okay, food web does not come inside the ecological pyramid, only food chain counts. Okay, no place in ecological pyramid for saprophytes. Saprophyte is not placed in any pyramid. Okay, either it is number pyramid, either it is biomass pyramid, either it is energy pyramid. No saprophyte is placed there. Okay, so did you know top carnivore, tertiary consumer? When human eats salmon, then they become top carnivores. Okay, when human consume meat, beef, then they are become carnivores, secondary consumer. When human eat that plants and vegetable, then it will become herbivores. So we can come in second tropic level, we can come in three tropic level, we can come in four tropic level. Okay, that's why we are the rulers of all these tropic levels. We do not come in first tropic level because we are not plant. Okay, so second tropic level, third tropic level, and fourth tropic level, any tropic level we can come, humans. Okay, so this is the summary of the chapter. Okay, the detritus, dead remains of plant animal, fragmentation, detrivore, break detritus into small leaching soluble inorganic nutrients, catabolism, degradation of detritus by fungal, and humidification, accumulation of dark, and mineralization, degradation of. Okay, and this is the summary for ecological pyramids. Pyramid of number in grassland ecosystem, it is upright, but in big tree ecosystem it is inverted. Pyramid of biomass in forest, it is upright, but in aquatic ecosystem it is inverted, and pyramid of energy is always upright. Okay, so this is your ecosystem. Okay, and thank you for watching. Like, share, and subscribe the video. Live lecture is going on. Next lecture is of chemistry. Okay, and Endigu and then Digu Nama Tapasya. Kabhi झुकने का नहीं.